It is that time of the month again. It is the Vanguard portfolio update, and let's just get straight into it. It currently has a portfolio value of £72,220.83. The reason for this big increase is we've been moving over some of my previous pensions from other companies that I've had and moving them into Vanguard. So firstly, I know where they are because I had no idea where some of them were, and then we can keep track of them and put them into my favorite ETF, which I'll be going through right now when we go into the ISA. So let's have a look at the ISA. You can see it currently has a total value of £64,242.88. And if we just go into the investments here, we can see the breakdown. The breakdown is still the same. It is split between two ETFs. The first is the Life Strategy 100 Equity Fund Accumulation. And then the next one is my favorite one, the S&P 500 VUSA, which is the Great British Pounds version. In America, you could have VU, or if you were somewhere else with the spiders, it'd be SPY. But what we, the English, can use as Vanguard, it is VUSA. So let's just have a quick look at the Life Strategy 100. This one I have stopped invested in. If we just go to the 3-year chart. In fact, the 3-year chart isn't long enough anymore. Wow, that just shows how long it's been going on for. Let's go to the 5-year chart because you can see all of my investments and at what point I stopped, which was on the 23rd of March. The reason for that is because I wanted to continue putting everything into VUSA rather than Life Strategy. And I'm going to explain why in a bit. So you can see here that if we look at VUSA, if we look at the Life Strategy, the current price is £303. My average unit cost is £230. And if we go to what's happened, basically, I have invested £13,000 and I have a gain of 4.1, and that gives a current value of 17,000, which would mean that that is up 31%. Which is about an annual rate of return of about 8.72 because I started investing in August of 2018. If we just look at this as well, you can see, once again, back to that 5-year, when I started investing, my first transaction was in August, and it had a value of £219. Now, currently, as of November 19th, it has a value of 303, which means that has gone up around about 38%, which is a 10% increase, which I'm sure everyone's thinking is very, very good, and a 38% increase is very healthy from this point to here. But if we compare it against VUSA, which has a total cost of £34,000, a current value of 46, which means that has a change of around just over 12.1. That has a rate of return of around 35%, which beats the 31, and then an annual rate of return of around about 9.6. But the reason for that is that I've been doing dollars cost averaging. So if I put everything in at the start, then VUSA has actually gone up 56% since this time, compared to the 38 of the LS100, which would be around about a 14% increase a year. It would have been nice to have invested all the lump sum at that point, but unfortunately, I didn't have this much money to invest at that point, so that's why I've been doing putting in money every single month. As you can see, if we just go through the transactions, I'll just show you how many. You can see that that's just been going and going and going, apart from a little dead patch here from April to August is when I started, but the reason for that is because we're in the process of buying a house, so I was a little bit short on cash at that point, so I needed to stop doing my regular investments, which was a shame, but you know, you've got to do what you've got to do. One of the other reasons I do like the VUSA is because of the dividends. So you can see currently I own 706 units of VUSA. So if I go to this website, which is Dividend Max, which works out how much the dividends get paid. Now, for some reason on this website, it's tracked in dollars and euros for VUSA. So if I do 706, that would be a payment of $180, which would be around about £134, which I would get quarterly. And this dividend date, as you can see from there, would be the 16th of December with a pay date on around about the 29th. The Vanguard one would probably come in as my January update. You'll be able to see that. But one thing I am interested in doing, if we just go back to Vanguard, is I am considering liquidating my Life Strategy 100, which would be the £17,000, and then moving everything into the VUSA, because the VUSA has been increasing at a better rate. Now, obviously, there is more risk because it's less diversified. But then again, is it less risk because it's more diversified? I do believe in the American markets on the whole. So why would I include UK companies if I do believe in the American markets more? But one of the reasons for this is actually, if I was to sell everything and get that would give me an extra 260 units, which would give me 969. And then that would actually put the payments up on that day to $250, which is around about £182, which is obviously would be very, very nice again. So I'm going to think about that in the coming days and probably do that in a couple of weeks, but I want to see how I feel. So if we go on the performance tab here and look at the overall, you can see basically the breakdown between everything. The current investment value gain and loss is £16,000. Some investments sold, that was my retirement fund. And the FTSE 250 that I only put a small amount in and removed. I have gross interest, which is when you have basically cash holdings. I was incorrectly for a long time not reinvesting the dividends for about 6 months to maybe a year. So I had a lot in my cash account, £500 in the cash that I wasn't reinvesting in VUSA. So I'm glad I noticed that because I got interest and I was thinking, how have I got interest? And then realized that I wasn't reinvesting the dividends because it doesn't have an automatic drip. Speaking of dividends, £702 of dividends, and the total charges have been £119 so far. So if we actually go to the investments, if we go to the transactions and then go to the fees, you can see that I did just pay, so this is backwards, so we need to go to the top. Don't know why that's changed. We can see I have just recently paid £21 in there. So it's currently about £80 a year, which is increasing, but I think the majority of that is with, once again, the Life Strategy 100. But as always, I'm very happy with my Vanguard account. I love putting money into it. I love putting it into the VUSA, and very interested to see what I'm going to do with this Life Strategy 100, whether I move it over. Leave a comment down below what you think I should do. I'm pretty open to ideas. If you know any good or bad reasons why I should or shouldn't, then let me know. I do like holding this as well because I can kind of compare it against the VUSA as a baseline, because it is difficult to see, but is it worth having holding something purely just because you like to compare it if you believe stronger in the American markets and VUSA? So yeah, and then just quickly, if I just go to my overall portfolio, and then if we just have a quick look at the pension side of it, the Vanguard Pension is pretty limited in what it does and doesn't show, but you can basically see the account value, the gains and losses on this page, and this has only been in here for about a month. And I have been moving them over, so I've already had good gains on that. I'll be moving the rest of them over and adding to this, so I can consolidate the pensions and then hopefully maybe add them if I wanted to. But I also like the fact that I can keep track of this money because I had no idea how much I had in my pensions. I'm transferring a couple more as we speak, and yeah, there was sort of a black box in my total portfolio and sort of finance situation. I didn't know how much I had, so interested to move that through. Right guys, thanks for watching. Please give a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Give a comment on your thoughts. What should I do with the Life Strategy 100 and the VUSA? And I'll catch you guys next time.